Hello, online crew. How are you today? This is my second to last live for the year. If I can help myself and not jump on when I say I'm not going to jump on. But today we're going to talk about a topic that is unavoidable at this kind of year, this time of year. It might be a topic that you go, oh, not that again. Like, do we really have to talk about this? So I'll tell you what that is in a moment, and we'll discuss some things. And I hope you've got a pen, because I want to give you some questions for you to ask yourself later, not now, but yeah, you might just want to grab a pen, or I guess you can always replay it and write them down then. But it's something that we need to address at this time of year. So I'll get on to that in a moment. How's everyone doing? As you're jumping on, please say hello. Tell us where you're coming in from, and we'll say hello to some people in a moment. I just want to give a couple of shout outs. We have a brand new life member of the coaching community, which is Charm Camacho. I hope that's how you pronounce it. So congratulations. And also another member, Jay Way. So welcome, guys, to the coaching community. You've got thousands of dollars worth of training to get stuck into over the Christmas break. So welcome. If anyone else wants to get into the coaching community or upgrade to a life member before the prices go up on the 1st of January, the link to the coaching community is above. I'm also commencing my branding course on the 13th of January. If you're someone who really needs to sort out your branding, you might want to have a look at that. Those in my coaching community get a $50 discount to that, so make sure you message me for the link for that. And the video challenge is starting, the next video challenge, 21-day video challenge, is starting on the 30th of January. So all those details are up above for you to check out if you need them. Okay, so who do we have on live here? We've got Heather on live. How are you? Thank you for saying hello to Henry. Henry, if you are unaware, is a fish here. He's my bot when I plug him in, and he what's the word for it? Guards our Palm Cove when I'm not around. Hello, Michael. How are you going? Are you staying cool? I have to tell you guys, from our part of the world, some of you will be freezing from your part of the world. We are having a major heat wave, and today is awful. And when I say awful, really, really hot wind. We've got a major problem with fires in Australia at the moment. There's over 100 uncontrollable fires in our country, not particularly where I'm from, but from the eastern states, and they just can't control them. And people are losing their homes at Christmas time. It's just awful. So there's a lot of heat and a lot of wind, and it's extremes around the world. There'll be people that it's really cold and they're snowed in, and there's other issues. But for us, we're having this massive heat wave. It's very, very hot and windy today, so it's not very pleasant. But it is what it is from different parts of the world, isn't it? We've got Laurie on. Hello, Laurie. Both Michael and Laurie are life members of our coaching community, so they got the anchor there. So if you're not aware, we've got the palm tree, which is our mascot for our community here. The fish is for our free group, which you may be listening from. I'm broadcasting from my business page and my free group at the same time, so you might be in one of those two places. The cruise ship is those in my coaching community, and one day, guys, we are going to get on a cruise ship together and sip margaritas or whatever your choice is, and just meet up in person. And the anchor is for life members. Happy Christmas and New Merry Year to everyone. So are we in the spirit? Are you feeling the love of Christmas? Are you ready for it? Are you excited? I know I'm not ready yet. I will be, but I've had an extremely busy year and last few months particularly, actually. So I'm not ready for Christmas, but I will be by the time we get around to. We've got 2 Christmases at our house. We've got Christmas Eve with my family, Christmas night with my husband's family. So busy time, but I will be ready. It'll all be good. Hello, Susan. Good to see you on. Laurie is tuning in from Texas. I would imagine it's quite mild weather in Texas, is it? Hi, Laurie. How are you? From Goose Bay in Canada. Are you cold over there, Laurie? Hello, Cindy. Good to see you here. Is that Barry? Whereabouts is that, Cindy? Let me know. Hello, Patricia. Yes, it is a hot, hot morning in our part of the world, which Patricia's near my part of the world as well. Cynthia from, the Riverland would even be hotter than where I am. So Cynthia's in our country as well, but where she's mentioned there is generally a lot warmer than we are in the city. So you must be really, really hot. Hi May, how are you? Watching me while doing the groceries. I love multitasking like that, so well done. Hi Jen, wanted to say and wish you all a Merry Christmas. Thank you, Jen, for doing that. Hello Cindy, how are you? Anyone that appears like that, it means you're watching from my group, not my business page, and you just need to give StreamYard, which is the little piece of software that I'm using, permission for us to see your profile. So it's the very last link in the description. If you're looking for that link and you don't see anything that says StreamYard or Facebook, it means you're watching from my business page and you're okay. The taxi is nice and cool. Luggage, do I have to get that out? Yeah, good point. Michael operates a taxi as well. So, yeah, getting people's luggage in and out, it's a bit hot for that. Heather is a live member. Praying that the wind stops so that the fires stop spreading and that the rain comes to put those fires out. The lovely cool breeze comes to cool you all down. Thank you, Cindy. What a lovely thing to say. I just can't imagine. I was watching the news last night and it's devastating, like seeing some families are choosing to stay and fight for their homes with whatever water that they can access. And some of them are managing to save their homes, but some of the fires, like the heat is that intense that you just can't get, you can't stay close enough to fight the fire. And there's just all these graphics of houses where, the fireplace is the last thing standing. It just, can you imagine, guys, at this time of year losing everything? Like your house is just gone. Whatever Christmas presents you bought or whatever family arrangements you had maybe at your house for people to come over, there's literally nothing. Like the pictures that we were showing was literally everything was just gone, burnt, and it's just the chimney of the fireplace left. Like I just can't imagine. Devastating. Good morning, Deb. How are you? Good to see you on. So Laurie's having a perfect day, 72 Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that is Celsius. I'm imagining maybe 20 something Celsius. Who's good at conversion between Celsius and Fahrenheit? I love all the emojis, Jen. Oh, Ontario, Canada, just 1 hour north of Toronto. Thank you for clarifying that. Delia, humid here in Brisbane. Yeah, so you get the sticky heat. We've got the dry heat. Good morning from Perth. So thank you for joining me. For those of you that, are here for the very first time, my name is Helen Martin, bit of a giveaway down there, but I'm your online crew captain and I am here of service, your captain for this beautiful online crew community that we have here. Which is entrepreneurs, home-based business owners, direct sellers, those in MLM, network marketing, and we're learning to leverage social media and use modern strategies to build our business online, because we really don't want to convince anybody to go into business with us in this kind of business model. We want people to raise their hand and say, yes, I'm keen to have a look and join you in your business. So that's what we're trying to do. One of the things how we can achieve that is obviously through Facebook Lives and many other social media strategies, because it just moves so fast. We just when we think we're under control with social media, Facebook or another platform goes and changes something, and it's very hard to keep up. So we're here to try to keep up. Okay, so what I'm getting into today is the topic that we can't sort of avoid at this time of year, and we really should talk about it. And you may have even thought about it already, or people that you work with have mentioned, what are your goals for 2020? Let's talk about goal setting and, thinking about what you want for 2020. But I want to give you 5 questions for you to ask yourself that are slightly different to what you may normally think about. And I want to give you 3 things to stay away from. One of the 3 biggest mistakes that people make regarding goal setting, and 5 questions to help you with your goal setting. Because even though it's one of those, it's like a New Year's resolution, really. What's your New Year's resolution? It's the same kind of vibe in what's your goals for 2020? What do you want to achieve? All that kind of stuff. It's just one of those things that comes at this time of year that we can't avoid. But honestly, you shouldn't avoid it. Because I'm going to give you some questions in a minute that came from, a sporting great. And, it's the difference between a goal and a wish for your 2020 coming and actually making it happen is actually really thinking about it, what you want, how you're going to plan for it, those kind of things. Because most people dream for things. They want more money. They want a thriving business. They want more people to join them in their business. Like, we've all got goals and dreams and whatever, but the difference between a goal and dream, that actually becomes a reality or it's just a wish, is how you plan for it. Like, really, what do you think about? So I want to give you 5 questions to write down just to start thinking about over the Christmas break and how you're going to answer them. It's just a slightly different spin on some of the questions, like what are your goals and what are you going to do in January and February and, all that kind of stuff. And where that comes from is a guy called, have you heard of a gentleman called Lou Holtz? Lou Holtz is a former American football great. Coach, well known in the sporting sort of world. Some people have conferences and events and stuff like that, and they bring on sporting people to talk to a network marketing audience. It's like, what's the reason behind that? Is because they know how to breed champions. They know the difference between average and, really making a difference. And we can learn a lot from sporting greats and what makes somebody on the football field or whatever sport it is into, a champion and somebody who actually succeeds versus, the thousands of people that want it but never get there. It's like that in our business, isn't it? There's a lot of us that want the goal, the dream, whatever, but most of us just wish. Like, you can have thoughts and goals and dreams, but unless you plan it out in some kind of capacity, it really is just a wish. So I just want to give you some things to think about, 5 questions to give you to think about, and 3 things that you need to desperately avoid, okay, which will make a big difference in your goal setting. So it's just one of those common topics at this time of year. It can get a little bit annoying. People could say to you, so what's your goals for 2020? But honestly, the difference between something being a reality and something being a wish is how you plan for it. I often say it's like being in a car and going somewhere you've never been before. You don't just get there by jumping in a car and just following your nose. You could be driving for hours, months, years to get where you want to go because you didn't have a plan to get from A to B. Your business is no different. So we really need to actually think about this and do something about it so your goals and dreams aren't just wishes, they actually become, a reality. Okay. So I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but there's a gentleman called Eric Worre who's very big in the network marketing profession, and he puts on a huge event in Las Vegas every year. Like thousands of people attend. It's either 5 or 10, I can't remember, 5 or 10,000 attend. Like, it's huge, and he has awesome speakers. Grant Cardone and Tony Robbins sometimes, and just great speakers. And so Lou Holtz was a speaker at this event, was just last weekend. And I've heard this from 3 different sources. His speech, obviously I wasn't there. I wasn't in Vegas last weekend. I was here. You'd know about it if I'd just been to Vegas. But he was the last speaker at Eric Worre's GoPro event where there's thousands of people there. And this is what he had to say about the difference between something being a wish and something becoming your reality. Ask yourself these 5 questions. So I would encourage you to write these down and think about them, because this is the difference to make something a reality for you. Okay. So I'll just give you a bit of context. So basically he's saying figure out what your goal is and have a plan towards it. And how you plan towards it is because it is thinking about these 5 questions. So let me give them to you. Okay. His number 1 question, which I find interesting because not a lot of people would put this as number 1. What financial sacrifices do you need to make to reach your goal? So obviously write down your goals. What is it that you want to achieve? That's just the given. Like, what do you want to achieve in your business? Things like that. Financial goals, numbers goals, like write down your goals. You do that anyway. Okay. These are the extra questions that he's saying you need to commit to make the goals happen that you've already written down. Okay. So what financial sacrifices do you need to make to reach your goals? Because you know what, guys? Most people are trying to reach their goals for free. And it doesn't happen that way. You need to invest in certain things, whether it might be training or skills or a mentor or whatever it is. If you already had the knowledge that to get to a 6, 7, 8-figure business, whatever you're striving for, then you would already be where you wanted to be. So if you're not where you wanted to be or your goals and dreams, then you need to make some decisions and choices. And the first one he was saying was financial. What financial sacrifices do you need to make to reach your goals? So have a budget put aside for either advertising for those of you that are doing it, or training or mentorship or whatever it is. But what financial sacrifices are you going to make to reach your goals? Anybody doing a bricks and mortar business would be doing the same thing. What am I going to invest in stock? What am I going to invest in advertising? You know, all those kind of things. Second one, what personal sacrifices do you need to make to reach your goal? So to get where you want to go, we have to make personal sacrifices, whether that's time, you know, it's usually time. You're going to make choices to watch less TV or to scroll on Facebook or whatever it is that you are going to do. What personal sacrifices are you going to make to reach your goals? So what financial sacrifices are you going to make? What personal sacrifices are you going to make? And write them down and commit to some things. I'm going to watch less TV. I'm going to scroll Facebook less amount of time, like those kind of things. What personal sacrifices are you going to make to help your business grow? So that's 1 and 2. Third one, what skills do you need to achieve to get to your goal? So what are you missing? What do you not know enough about? If you're doing advertising, is it Facebook advertising? If it's lead generation, like how do you attract leads online? Like how can you do that a smarter way? Is it social media? How do I build my following, become a leader, you know, get more fans and followers and stuff like that? What are the skills you need to learn to get where you want to go? Because again, if you already had the skills, you'd already be where you want to be. So working out what is it that you actually need to learn. So that's number 3. Number 4, what bad habits do you need to get rid of? You've all got them. What do you know? And this might not only be business, this might be health, this might be lots of different things. What bad habits do you know you need to break? You've all got them. We've all got them. We've all got bad habits that we need to break. Write down what you're going to break. What bad habits are you going to break? Procrastination might be one of them. Chocolate might be one of them. Who knows? I don't know what bad habits you've got, but, you know, avoiding things, wasting time, wasting money. You know, what bad habits do you need to break? And like really have a think about that, and then consciously, intentionally work towards getting rid of those bad habits. I bring to your attention, I've shown you this a few times before. This is an amazing book. This is what you need to do, and this is what all these questions are about. Intentional living, not just living, intentional living. When you lead your life with intention, you know what financial sacrifices you're going to make. You know what personal sacrifices you're going to make. You know what bad habits you're going to work towards breaking. It's intentional. Unless you're intentional about your goals, your dreams, and how you're going to get there, like the car scenario, how are you going to get to your destination and plan it out, then you're probably not going to get there. You'll let life leading you instead of you leading your life. So you must be intentional about how you live your life. Grab this book, grab it on audio. If you're not a reader, grab it on audio and listen to it. Amazing, amazing book. And it makes such a difference when you lead your life with intention, other than letting life happen to you. Don't let life happen to you. Like, make life happen for you. And the way you plan and the questions you ask and these kind of things that you think about will make the difference between your goals and dreams becoming a reality, or they're just wishes. Like, how many of you have been in this industry for years and you're still in the same place? You're no better off, or you've been in it for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and you've never really cracked it. How intentional are you about your habits, your life, your skills, your learning, your time, your financial sacrifices, those kind of things. Okay. And the last one is, who do you need to work with to get there? So surround yourself by people that uplift you, motivate you, you learn from, can help you. Mentors. Even my mentors have mentors. So I'm just going to run through those quickly again. Write them down, guys, and think about this stuff over the holidays, like the Christmas break. What financial sacrifices are you going to make? What personal sacrifices are you going to make? What skills do you need to achieve to get to your goals? Because you may not know enough about what you're doing. What bad habits do you need to get rid of? And who do I need to work with? So it goes a little bit deeper than what your goals are. Yes, I want to build a bigger business. Like, well, how much money do you want to make? You know, all that kind of stuff that you write down to start. But then go a little bit deeper into these kind of questions. How are you going to make that happen? What sacrifices are you going to make that happen? Like, go a little bit deeper. Does that make sense? Okay. So it's all about setting yourself to take the action that you need to get to the goals that you want to. It's all about planning. It's no different to like Facebook Lives. You got to plan them out. You got to plan your content on social media. When you plan things, they happen. When you're not planning, you won't do them. You'll let yourself down. Then you beat yourself up for what you didn't do, but you wanted to do. And it's usually just all down to planning. So unless you plan and think about things like financial sacrifices, personal sacrifices, time sacrifices, who you're going to reach out to and work with, you know, somebody who knows more than you, somebody who's walking the path that you want to walk. So reach out to those kind of people, like find a mentor of some sort and listen and learn from them and take advice from them. Okay. So they're the 5 things that you should ask yourself. So go a little bit deeper. Now, here's 3 mistakes that you really want to stay away from with your goal setting and, you know, setting yourself up for 2020. So a lot of people, the buzz going around about 2020 is 2020 vision. Like, you know, when you got 2020 vision, you're seeing like 100% clearly. So have 2020 vision about 2020. Like, set down your goals, but not only just write out your goals, how are you going to achieve them? But what are these extra things that are going to help you achieve them? Like money, time, mentors, you know, those kind of things. And here's 3 things to stay away from, okay? 1, you can't plan for your future when you don't complete your past. Now, what I mean by that is evaluating. You shouldn't be preparing for 2020 until you've looked back at 2019 and ask yourself these 3 questions, which I keep continually throwing at you. I hope you remember these. What worked? What didn't work? What can I do differently? So evaluate, not in emotion, not by saying things like, well, last year was, or, you know, this year, we're still here in 2019, but not, it was a crap year. Like, things haven't gone well for me this year. That's all emotion. What caused that? What didn't work? What did work? What can you do differently? Like, look back and evaluate, because unless you evaluate and learn from your mistakes, your so-called failures, which are not bad, they're just lessons learned, unless you go back and reevaluate what happened in the past year, you shouldn't really be planning for the next year, because you learn what happened from the previous year to plan for the next year. Otherwise, you know what happens, guys? You make the same mistakes. You do the same things over and over again. You spend money on training that you never watch. You buy into all this free stuff that just wastes your time and never gets, you know, never moves the needle forward. Like, don't make the same mistakes. If you're not happy with how 2019 went, work out the reasons that it didn't go well and make sure you don't repeat them in 2020. So don't plan for the future until you've finished the past. It's like reading a book. You can't actually, like, I can't say I've completed this book unless I've completed every chapter. Like, if I half read one chapter and half read another chapter, I haven't finished the book to go on to the next book. I need to complete the chapters. Go and complete your 2019 and evaluate, not emotionally, not emotionally. It doesn't put your headspace in the right in the right place. You've got to truly evaluate what worked, what didn't work, and what can I do differently. And the what can you do differently comes into your planning for 2020. But evaluate it for what it is in results or lack of results, those kind of things, not in emotion and that was a terrible year. Everything went bad for me, and then you just get in this loop of emotion that does not help you plan for the future. You got to take the emotion out of it and really look at things for what they are. Even things like, did I really work hard enough? Did I actually really take enough action? Or was I just thinking about action? For most people, they think about what they should be doing and they just want it so badly. And I want to make more income. I want to get my money back that I invested. They want. But you're not really taking the action, which will get you there, which is financial sacrifices, personal sacrifices, getting rid of bad habits, working with people that know more than you, or, are walking the path that you want to walk, those kind of things. Okay, so evaluate it for what it is, not in emotion. It won't help you. So to start a fresh chapter, you need to finish off your previous chapters. So go just evaluate before you move on. Does that make sense to you guys? And then the big warning with that one, again, is if you don't, you'll repeat the same problems. You'll repeat the same bad habits because you just carry them over. You got new dreams and goals, awesome. But unless you truly work out what you need to stop or what you need to change, you'll probably carry it through unknowingly. Okay, so it's really, really important. Number 2, biggest mistake with goal setting and looking into the future is you limit yourself to what you know now. So your goals and dreams are very limited. And, I will go back to this book, Living with Intentional Living. You can intentionally set new goals and dreams and stuff that are beyond your wildest dreams. Most people don't go there because they don't think it's real. But your goal setting becomes very limited as to what you've achieved in the past. And you just think, I might be able to do that. Like, think big. Have any of you guys heard of the book, The Magic of Thinking Big? When you think bigger, when you broaden your horizons, when you get out of the weeds and stop worrying about somebody not doing the dishes, and you start opening your mind to what's possible and the income that you can generate and the people that you can learn from, and, embracing new things, then you can set bigger goals. But most of you won't set your goals big enough. So don't limit yourself in what you can achieve, because we can all achieve big things if we want to. And this is where your mindset comes in and your belief. Get rid of your limiting beliefs. Most of you will think, I'll never achieve that. Why not? Why not? Why would you think I'll never achieve that? It's just all our limiting beliefs that come in. You don't believe things are possible for you. Why aren't they possible for you? Anybody who's really, really successful out there, they're not handed things on a silver platter. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. It's up to you what you want to achieve. You put your mind to it. You put your head down, bum up, and just, be really focused and plan what you want. You can achieve anything you want to. But it's our limitations in our own beliefs that let us down. So the number 2 mistake in, setting goals and dreams is that you won't actually believe that you can do it. So you've actually got to push yourself and train your brain to think bigger, because remember, when you start thinking big like that, your brain gets scared and uncomfortable, and your brain's job is to talk you out of it. So things that seem really scary, things that are really big and outlandish are not normal. They're uncomfortable. And so your brain's job is to go, oh, I don't know if we can achieve that because that's a bit out there. We're just going to stay comfortable. It's what your brain is designed to do. So you have to think differently, and you have to think bigger sometimes than your brain will allow you. Does that make sense? Because your brain's job is to keep you safe and comfortable and cozy. So you will often talk yourself out of big goals and dreams or taking actions that scare you, because it's exactly what your brain is designed to do. So don't limit yourself. Think big. Just think, why not? It's possible. Anything's possible. So don't limit yourself, because you limit yourself on your current circumstances. It's really hard for some people to look into the future and see what's possible. But anything's possible if you in your mind believe that it's possible. So that's the number 2 mistake. The number 3 mistake is that people focus on what you can get, not what you can create. So don't focus on what you can get from people, who you can get into your business, who can you impact. So when you write your goals and dreams out, how many lives can I impact, rather than how many people can I get into my business, or how many customers can I get, rather than how many people's lives can I influence by the product or the services or whatever I can provide. How many families can I help improve their lives through what I have to offer? So when you're writing out your goals and dreams, don't pitch it in a way of what you can get from others. Think about how you can improve, inspire, impact other people in their lives from whatever it is in your business that you've got to offer. When you come from the right place and you make it bigger than just you, then the vision is different, the vibe is different, your thoughts are different. And when you concentrate more on the impact on other people of what you've got, rather than what you can get from people financially or numbers wise, then it gives you a different perspective. It gives you more drive. Rather than focusing on the numbers that you didn't get, you can focus on people's lives that you can impact, and that'll keep you driven much more than numbers. Does that make sense, guys? So, even like Facebook Lives, and you don't want to do lives to get people to buy something from you or get into your sales funnel or some way. You really want to come from a place of, who can I impact today? What message can I share today? If they just walk away with one little piece of information to think about or think differently, then that would be a good thing. So it's how you have a higher moral ground, guys, and think bigger about your business, not only from what you can achieve, but how you can impact other people. So come from the right place. When you really focus on the money, or you're drowning that much in debt that all you focus on is, I've got to get money to pay my bills, I've got to get money to get my investment back, I've got to get money, like it's the wrong angle. You become more valuable and impactful to the world, and the money will come. It's not through desperation, it's through vision. So have a bigger vision than you do desperation for your business to work. Okay, so I really hope you get something out of those 5 questions about financial sacrifices, personal sacrifices. What bad habits are you going to intentionally break in 2020? Where are you going to spend your time? And who are you going to learn from? All those kind of things. Okay. So what are you guys saying? Are you agreeing? Do you find some truth into those things that I've said? Do they make you think a little bit differently? Because it is at this time. I know it's kind of boring. Everyone says, what are your goals and dreams for 2020? But planning will make or break your business. If you don't plan, like if you get in the car and you go to a destination that you've got no idea where you're going, you may never arrive without a plan. So have a plan. Put some thought to it. It's just like a budget. Plan it out and tell your money where to go instead of the other way around. Yeah, like if you're watching your pennies, like even if you've got plenty, you should have a budget, because you just end up spending way more money than you need to because you don't have a plan around it. We are the creator of our destination. Absolutely. If you don't, life will take hold of you. Life will distract you. Life will make you spend more money than you need to because you don't have any kind of plans around it. Megan, thanks, Helen. I will get that book and read it on our week away. I would definitely, everything is about intentional living. If you live intentionally, life, health, relationships, family, kids, budget, mentors, whatever it is, when you live intentionally, you'll get so much more out of life. Because life is busy and it'll take control of you unless you take control of it. Such an important part. Mentors. Yeah, I'd be lost without my mentors, that's for sure. Wishing everyone a blessed and happy holiday season. Same to you, Judy and Bob. Hello, Marjorie. How are you? Watching live from Switzerland. Working night shift here. Thank you so much for accepting me into your community. It's beautiful to have you here, Marjorie. Right back at you. Merry Christmas. And make sure your mentors are the right ones for you and not sending you in the right direction. Yeah, like if you get a gut feeling that what you're being told is not right, or maybe they're not skilled enough in the area that you're learning, you know, just trust your instincts as well. You want to plan, most definitely, but you also want to trust your instincts as well. They're important. Hi, Alma. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I need to hear these. Good. So not only hear them, put them into action. That's what we want. True entrepreneurs think outside the box. They make an about face if that's what's required. Absolutely. And remember, nothing is a failure, particularly in this kind of industry. Like everything is a lesson learned. Like I've had plenty of times in the online world, even in my network marketing businesses and whatever, it hasn't always worked out. But I don't see it as failures. It's just like lessons learned to do it better, you know, in another area or going in a different direction. Nothing's a failure. It's just, it all leads towards something, you know, to get you where you need to go. Thanks so much. So hot here in Adelaide. Very hot, Carol. Hi, Desi. How are you? Yeah, and this is, where'd that go? No, yeah. Scare yourself. Hard thing to do. And most people, you know, guys, most people don't go there. Most people don't push themselves out of their comfort zone. And your brain will keep you there. And that's why a lot of people don't make it in this industry, because they won't do the things that scare them. You almost have to. And you have to train yourself to say, thank you, brain, for protecting me and keeping me comfortable. But I want to really make this work. You know, if this was easy, everybody would do it, guys. If it was that easy, everybody on the planet would be doing it. So it's not easy. You guys know it's not easy. But you have to have a plan to get there. Because if you don't, you'll just go around in circles. Learn to enjoy the adrenaline rush. Come from your heart and not your head. We can overthink. Like, how many of you are overthinkers? You can overthink things, you know, as well. Helen, you are so inspiring. I definitely needed this little chat. I have lots of work to do in 2020. Well, I'm glad it's helped. It's just reevaluating, guys. It doesn't mean whatever you've done previously is wrong. It's just reevaluating where you're at and what you need to focus on moving forward. And the sacrifices that you're going to make to get there. Because unless you make sacrifices, sorry, guys, you're not going to get there. You just won't get there. Financial sacrifices, time sacrifices, getting rid of bad habits, those kind of things. You have to do all those things to get there. It would be very, very rare for somebody to do none of those things and still meet all their goals and dreams. Omar, you're hitting me there, Helen. So very true. You can't forward if you're not finishing off the past first. Thank you for these reminders. I'm glad if you just get something out of this video, each of you, then, you know, I'm happy. You've helped me so much, Helen, that I just want to pay it forward now, going to break these bad habits. Awesome, Cindy. Love that. Yes, you remind me lots of things that I need to sort out before I start the new me in this year. Yeah, so go and clean up 2019, guys, and work out what hasn't worked well for you. You know, the things that have worked well for you, keep doing them and carry them into 2020. But if there is quite a few things in 2019 that you're not happy with, that maybe you let yourself down, or maybe like look in the mirror and be honest with yourself, guys, as well. Like really look in the mirror and go, did I actually do the work? Or did I just spend a lot of time listening to training and, you know, stuff like that? Like I learned a lot, but did I action enough? Did I actually take the actions I need or really learn the skills I need to get where I want to go? So, you know, don't sugarcoat it for yourself. Just be really honest with yourself about what you did and didn't do and clean 2019 up before you go and look into, you know, 2020. Okay. Yes, awesome chat for us to rest up in these next couple of weeks, clear off our plates and hit the road running. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, like with any new year, it is an opportunity to refresh, regroup, start it afresh, but don't start it afresh without mopping up the bad stuff, the crap, the stuff that didn't go so well in 2020. And the stuff that did go well, you know that, okay, that's definitely part of my plan, because it's stuff that worked well. So, you know, remember those 5 questions to go a little bit deeper and the 3 things to be wary of. with your goal setting, okay? Because it's just at that point of the year where you really should be thinking about this kind of stuff, because you won't get to where you want to go. Your goals and dreams will just end up being wishes. They won't come to fruition unless you've got a plan to get there. So how are you going to get there? Work that out for yourself. And baby steps, like have your yearly goals, but then break it down to monthly. And then you really should break it down to weekly. Like how many, if you're doing Facebook Lives, how many lives are you going to do a week or whatever? Plan it out. And then a week before, plan out what you're going to talk about. Plan. Otherwise, you fly by the seat of your pants. You're not organized and things don't happen. And that's not what we want for you. Carol. All what you're saying hits hard, and I need this too. I'm using my Christmas break to have a good clear out and start as I mean to go on to 2020. Awesome, Carol. Me and husband are going to do our 220 vision tonight. Thank you so much, Helen. I've taken notes of all the questions and what to avoid. So in your planning, use all of that of what we've discussed in this video, and that'll help you, okay? And have a really clear vision. And when you're doing it with a partner, be on the same page as well. That's really important. I love tough love from you. Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys, because I wouldn't be a good mentor to you guys if I didn't give you the tough love as well, or give you some guidance as to, how to do it better. And when I talk to you, I talk to myself as well. Those 5 points from, they're from Lou Holtz, like amazing sportsman and coach. Like I've learnt from him as well as sharing it with you guys. So, I learn at the same time as well. So again, what is it with this week? I keep talking for too long. So I'll leave it there. I've got one live to go before I'm going to take a week's break from going live. I actually thought I'm not going to go live on the 1st, because that's a lot of yours. It'll be 31st. You'll be partying and I might be recuperating. So I'll probably go live on the 2nd of January, which is your 1st of January if you're US, Canada, overseas, stuff like that. But I'll tidy all of that up tomorrow. So I don't know what it's going to be like on live tomorrow. A lot of you might be busy, but I will come live at the same time tomorrow to wish you, a beautiful Christmas and wrap things up for the year. So jump on with me tomorrow if you can. I look forward to seeing you then. Have an awesome rest of the day, whatever part of the day it is for you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.